what version of Erin Banks are we about to see on stage in 5 weeks' time?
Let me read you something from a check-in that I got this morning.
Oh, yeah.
So, I won the Mr. Olympia in 2022, right?
Yeah.
I won the Arnold Classic in 2022. And I won the Boston Pro in 2022, right?
Yeah.
So I got a message. This is the smallest waist. This is the smallest your waist has been. To be honest, your core hasn't looked like this since 2022.
Oh.
So that should explain itself. That's how I'm coming.
I like that.
It's getting to a point to where it's getting scary. I'm gonna stop posting some of these check-ins, and they'll see me on that day.
Dang, that's why your back is looking like that from the back as well. Your waist is almost non-existent. It's like,
bro.
And
I think my best check-in was this morning, and it was
whoa.
Insane.
I'm definitely excited for this.
I haven't seen my body look like that since 2022.
2022. So whoa.
Makes me happy.
He said right away, yo, like Erin Banks, like you can see the lower, he even pointed out your lower lats right away. He said, that's bodybuilding. Wow, like this is going to be an incredible show in Pittsburgh and all that. So like, we're definitely looking forward to see what you're going to bring to Pittsburgh again this year. And hopefully you're going to take home that first.
Right now, I was going to look way better than that bullshit. I told myself I was going to win it after I placed second. Literally, I told Cuts backstage, getting off the stage, showing him the second place trophy. And I literally told him and looked at him, I said, I'm not losing next year.
Whoa.
And he'll tell you that.
Wow. I love that. Like, is the plan was always to do Pittsburgh and then the Olympia?
Yeah, this year the plan was just to do Pittsburgh and then funnel in some other shows that we won't announce, but we'll just pop up and show. But as far as the Arnold will be back on the list next year. So I will be competing at the next.
You heard that here, guys. Erin Banks is going to be at the Arnold's next year. Are we going to see you in Canada anytime soon? Anytime in the near future?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
I got some plans that's going to bring me back to Canada this year.
Yeah.
But when I came into the league, it was, I said this in one of my reels, but it was looking at a Stephen Cowell's bag. It was looking at an Ant Woods presentation. It was looking at a Raymont because we had the same height. And it was looking at Ryan Terry. Ryan Terry had one of those, that front shot everybody loves, So, I mean, out of all of those guys, I think Raymont was kind of one of the ones that I really resonated with. Just because he was taller. We had very similar structures. He was a real wide dude, and of course he won the Mr. Olympia and did what he did. So
yeah,
me and him that's who I kind of wanted to.
Yams, right? Yo, he was sick too, to be honest. What are you waiting for? Subscribe, watch the videos, leave us a like, and don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know what you like to see. Let's go, Queens and Kings to the world. Alright, bodybuilding fans, welcome back to Queens and Kings World, where we bring you the real stories behind the physiques we see on stage. Today we've got a special guest, IFBB Pro, Olympia champion, one of the top names in men's physique. Drum roll please, Erin Banks. Yo, Erin Banks. How's it going, brother?
Hanging out, prepping for the show.
Yeah, 5 weeks out?
5 weeks out, bro.
Nice. Pittsburgh, right?
Pittsburgh Pro.
Oh, baby. We're going to jump into all of that. First off, thank you so much for jumping on this podcast. It's been a long time coming, especially after we met last fall.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all the interviews we did, we couldn't get them out. We might still get them out in the future, but right now, unfortunately, they're corrupted. So I really appreciate you actually doing this a second time and taking your time out to do this. So I'm going to give you props for that. And then I just want to give you a lowdown on how this is going to go. So first of all, I'm going to start with a quick presentation just to give everyone a quick rundown of your journey and why we really wanted to have you on this show. Just because of your journey has been super inspiring. I mean, come on, like from your first show into your pro career, like you've always been taking top 5, first place actually in all your, we're going to get into all of that actually, but wow, it's just incredible seeing your journey, to be honest with you, man. Like it's mind blowing. Yeah, like the way you shot up from 2019 straight into the pro league and then winning the Olympia in 2022. It's just like, wow, like we have to, that's someone has to bring out a playbook so people can actually study that and be like, you know what, if I want, yeah, because to be
Too much
honest with you,
playbook, man, for people to study.
for real, bro, because like it's like it needs to be studied. Because like I was looking back at it and I'm like we need to know what was behind that journey, the mindset, your training approach. Because I also saw some clips on YouTube as well, and I had to be like, wow, so this guy actually takes time to actually like improve his training based off his own physique. Because I saw you when you did a back workout with Zaytoven recently, and you
Yep.
put this handle on, and you just literally like were able to target your lower lat, right? I mean, there are different approaches, but like to see the way you were able to like do that and even translate it to Zaytoven as well. And I was just like mind blown. I was like, oof, I need to try that out as well. And I did. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's something, right? You know what I mean? So like, man, but we're gonna get into all of that. I'm gonna start the presentation. We're going to start with just quick rapid fire questions just to get you warmed up before we get into your journey and all that good stuff. So this is the 2022 Olympia win right here. Wow, that was just incredible. Alrighty, so we're going to jump into it. Yeah, us meeting last fall, honestly, like, wow, thanks for the words of inspiration that day. Because when we lost the
Yeah.
files or when the files got corrupted, like, to be honest with you, I actually remember that moment because obviously I have it on my phone as well. When you were like, oh, I think you said you saw one of the videos or something like that, and you were like, "Oh, I like it, bro. Keep going." Like even just that little thing you said, just at the back of my mind, I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, just keep going. Like, what shit happens, right? You lost the files or like they got corrupted. So what? Like, next thing, next step. You know what I mean? And that just kept ringing in my head.
Things always happen, but you gotta, it's how you respond to those things that happen and how you gonna figure out how you gonna come out on the other side of those things that happen. So you're continuing to do what you do. So that's the first step.
Exactly. And I want to just say big thanks for that, to be honest with you. And yeah, we're going to jump into the rapid fire questions. And the reason why I have this up is because I just wanted to ask you who your, because I know when you started, these guys were already competing, the likes of Jeremy Buendia, Brandon Hendrickson, and Ryan Terry. So out of these three, who would you consider like the GOAT in men's physique?
Mm, they're all goats at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've done so much for the industry.
Hmm.
They've all had their own stories. Jeremy winning the four, Brandon losing it, coming back and winning it. You know what I mean? So he has three. Ryan Terry taking a whole 10-year decade hiatus to
Hmm.
now become a three-time Mr. Olympia. So I mean, all those guys are goats in their own. You know, I don't. I mean, I there is the debate on who's the best. I mean, of course, Jeremy has the four titles, so that kind of puts him above everyone. Like I
Yeah.
said, man, all of these guys, I mean, they all just deserve their flowers. There's not one guy that I can just pinpoint and just say, hey, this is the guy of our industry. They've all done extreme things in our industry in our division. So out of all of them, they all do their thing for
Oh,
sure.
I love that answer. I love that. And you were actually like becoming the GOAT yourself, like to be honest with you, man.
I'm far from it, man. You know, I'm still driving. This will be my 6th year of being a pro,
Yeah.
which is still mind blowing to me.
Mm.
Even the guys that you just showed me, they've been competing. I think this will be either their 13th or 14th year, and this is my sixth. And you know, I'm grateful and blessed that people think of me as a goat or inspired or motivated by me. But at the end of the day, I don't think my story is finished being written. I still have a lot to do. I still have a lot to
Oh yeah.
learn, growing wise, and you know, just still understanding the business and everything else that goes outside of the industry. But man, I don't put myself next to those guys, man. I just know what I'm capable of doing and how I do it, and I follow the lead of the men upstairs. If he's trying to bless me with two or three more Olympias, then that there so be it. But at this
Wow.
moment in time, I'm just staying focused and locked in on what I have to do
Yeah.
personally
Mm.
to continue my legacy in this industry.
Wow, I love that humility as well. And that's one of the traits, honestly. And you see, that's it, literally. Like, I love that. And you just wrapped it up nicely in a bow right there. So that's awesome to hear, bro. And then the reason why I actually said that is I looked back at your career even before you turned pro.
It was old school. Jesus. That's
So
hilarious.
in 2019, I realized that wow, you actually even in your first shows, you got first in your novice.
Yep.
The second show you got first, literally in your class. The third show you got second, but that was like the person who got first was first overall,
Yeah,
right?
he
So
won
like I was
all.
like
He won.
literally, and I tried searching up the guy now. I was gonna ask you if you heard anything about him since then, because since 2021,
He competed a couple of different times in
yeah,
the men's physique, but I think it's Storm McDaniels. McDaniels, I think was his last name, but
yeah. Let me see. I think I have it right
he
here.
was one of those
Anthony
guys, you know, that
McNeil.
yeah, McNeil, and
Antoine McNeil. Yeah.
they call him Storm or something like that. He was coached
Yeah.
by DJ Pierre, and
Mm,
you know, we've competed, and I mean, after that show, he's never beat me again. That's always my, I say, one up to some of these guys, and they'll kind of beat me the first time around, but then I
mhm.
would get to these Olympias and Arnold's and bigger shows like that, and you know, I've done what I've done at those shows. So,
Yeah.
but he was a phenomenal competitor at that show. As you just said, he won the overall at
Bro.
USA
Yeah.
Championship. So he brought what he brought.
Exactly. Wow. And then, like you said, since then, like literally, you've just like shut up, and like it's incredible to see. Like I literally had to go
Oh, and
back
it
on
was
all.
crazy, man. When you're looking at these pictures right here as like
Mhm.
2019, bro, those are all a natural, completely natural Aaron Banks.
Whoa, this right?
All of that's
Wow.
completely natural.
Wow.
So the back was built already, and that was built basically off of doing calisthenics
Thanks. Wow.
every day, and then merging over into the bodybuilding world and actually building
Nice.
and putting size on the back. And now, of
Nice.
course,
I
now
put my back right beside yours as well to say, wow, you're inspiring me.
oh,
That's my first show as well, my first
nice,
bodybuilding show.
nice. Yeah, man, it's always a stepping stone, and you know, I really never wanted to be in this industry. I never wanted to be a bodybuilder or anything like that. I was an athlete all my
Mhm.
life, so when it fell in my hands and people were telling me I should do it, you know, I ended up giving it a try, and you know what, it happened to be very successful for me. So you know, there's just pros and cons, but
Mhm.
it just is what it is.
Yeah. This was the second show. We talked about the one in your class you won, and
Second,
then this was.
not do both hands on the hip, Aaron Banks. What are you doing, Aaron Banks?
But man, the reason why I put this here is like to see the difference now. It's crazy. Like it's actually someone. If someone sees this right now who is just starting, they will be super inspired, bro. Like to be honest with you, because when I saw this, I'm like, wow. Because like it just shows you like if you just keep going, if you do the right things and your mindset as well, which is what we want to unravel today. Like it just
Yeah,
shows you that if you do the right things, you will get there. So like it's
absolutely.
crazy. It's crazy, bro. Wow. Um, and then yeah, this was the final. This was the where you got your pro card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly in 2020, in 2019. And then I noticed you got your pro card the same day as what's his name? Drew.
Drew, yeah, Drew was actually in that show.
Oh
Drew,
wow. Did you know him back then?
I didn't know Drew at all back then.
Oh wow. Oh, that's crazy.
I didn't.
Nice. I
We
think he's the
talked
only one on there that you guys are now like still, competing against each other basically in the Olympia and
we
stuff like
talked
that, you know?
about it. We talked about it um, on one of the podcasts, you know.
Oh, really?
And to be honest, bro, I don't think is that the full list of who all got pro cards.
Oh no, that's not the full list. That's not the full list.
I
Yeah.
was about to say there's not one name on there right now that I think competes besides me and Drew. I mean, they probably
Oh
do, but
wow.
they're kind
But yeah,
of.
in men's physique, this is the full list. This is the 15
I don't
banner
even
list. Yeah.
I don't even know any of those guys' name.
Exactly. Literally, I even did my own digging. I clicked on each of them and went through it, and I was like, holy shit.
None of those guys' names.
Yeah.
It's Drew.
It's
Crazy.
wild.
That's
It's
crazy.
wild. And that's why I'm literally like, we need to unravel what took you, because from here, this was 2019, right? And then
Yeah.
boom, 2022, you literally got what everyone wants in that division. You got the Olympia
Yeah.
title, and
So
like you had a family as well, kids. You know what I mean? Like it's
absolutely. So
hmm,
basically, after 2019, I got my pro card.
yeah,
And again, like I told you in the beginning, I never wanted to do this sport in the
yeah,
beginning. So after I got my pro card, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm done with it. You know, I was going to be
hmm,
one of those names that you probably um, see up there that's not competing right now. But COVID happened. So I literally got out of shape after this show because I was just eating. It was my first time really going on a whole like competing series, and I was like, you know what, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done with competing.
oh
But
wow,
then COVID happened, and one of my buddies was like, man, you might, because I was a personal trainer at the time as well too,
hmm,
and he was like, you might as well just lean on this bodybuilding career, man. I mean, I think you can do really well. And I got a private gym that can get you open. And then I just started training again, ended up hiring Cuts.
oh
So
wow,
end of 2020, probably in October, me and Cuts started getting ready for the Houston Tournament of Champions, which was my first pro debut. Yeah.
okay, oh wow,
So yeah, I
wow,
kind
that's
of went under the radar too, for a little bit. And
yeah,
even though
literally,
these guys were still competing during COVID, because of course the Olympia in 2020 was in Orlando that year, and then
hmm,
even in 2021 when I competed, it was in Orlando.
oh wow, hmm. Well, like and like you said, because I also didn't see you compete like from 20. I think you didn't compete in 2020 at all, right?
At all.
At
I
all, exactly. So
wasn't even thinking about bodybuilding.
exactly. So when you came back in 2021 at that Olympia, and then I think yeah, was at the Olympia. You got into the Olympia in 2021,
Yep.
and then 2022, boom. I was like, holy! I think who was I rooting for that year? It must have been Brandon. And
Yep.
then you just came from nowhere, and you just took it, and I was like, this was me watching. I was like, oh. And then I looked back at your career and I was like, holy moly. And then I got super inspired too because I saw, I think your kids were at the show. They
Yeah.
came to,
My
yeah. And
kids are
then,
at all the shows, man. They love watching daddy get on stage. So that's something that also inspires me and makes
wow,
me to continue to do it. So
wow,
kids, they have majority of all my medals, and they don't have the big trophies, but they have all my medals and like the lanyards and stuff like that they keep in their room. So yeah,
wow. I
they're
love that.
they're involved.
I love that, bro. And then this was what I was even talking about your pro career. Like this is crazy. You've actually been top five, and when you say top five, it's not even, it's like top three basically in
Yeah,
all your shows
the
except for this past
only one
Olympia,
this
literally.
past Olympia I placed for. So I've
Yeah.
never been outside of the top four in my life. As a
Literally, and that is wild.
That's
That's
from
actually
amateurs to the pros in my life. I've never been outside. I've been in the first call out every single show.
wow,
Every single show.
wow,
I don't.
man.
It's been a true blessing, because of course coming into this industry, nobody knowing me to do what I've been doing is,
Hmm,
I sit back and soak it in, man, because God did it all. I mean, yeah,
hmm,
of course I put the work in and do the cardio and do the meal planning and stuff like that. But
yeah,
man, I've been put in a very well position to do what I do and continue to motivate young athletes and even older people to kind of get in shape, or guys who want to start bodybuilding. So I've
yeah.
been very fortunate to be that for other people.
For the people, I love that. I'm just gonna wrap up the presentation so we can jump into actual in-depth questions because we still have like some quality questions.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and this is your partner
Right?
Perla, right? And I noticed she competes as well,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna discuss that as well, how that is important in relationships.
It's not important. It's not.
No, no, the understanding. We'll get into that. We'll get into
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna get to that.
And then here, the reason why I put this up as well is you mentioned that fashion is like was your first love, right? Even when funny enough, because this is one of the things I do, I'll do a Google search of the person just to see as well what pops up, right? I did a Google search of you, and literally the first thing that comes up now is fashion was my first love. Putting fits together, yeah, paying attention to detail. Literally, that's what comes up right now on Google if you
Hmm.
search Aaron
That's
Banks.
cool.
So I just thought I should put that up and be like, and we're gonna get into that after as well. If that also means, because whoa, I love the way you put your fits together. To be honest with you, even
Absolutely.
at the at the
About that for
expo,
sure. We'll talk about
that was dope. Really, like how to put colors together and like dope fits, even with what's it called? Young LA as well. I think you guys really do well together because the fits they just stand out.
absolutely.
um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so we're gonna get into all of that to see if that's something you're also looking to do after bodybuilding, and maybe even we'll see an Banks line as we go on.
Got you.
And I just put this up here because recently, actually, they try to scam me actually. So I also actually let people know to be careful when they get emails, not to just jump at emails like this, because they tried to use Young LA actually recently, just because I posted a picture with Young LA pants, and then they reached out to me the next day. But like I did my due diligence, I did my research, I reached out to them, and then I realized that it was a scam. So they were trying to make me pay like a shipping fee, and they tried to do that to me last year as well with another company, PR Lifestyle, by Larry Wheels, right?
Got you.
And I
Yep.
did the same thing. I did my due diligence. I reached out to them, found out it was a scam. So I was like, wow. So that's what I should put that in there as well, just to let people know that beware of things like that. And yeah, this was the video I was talking about with Zaytoven, the
Yeah.
back rolls. Yeah.
That's it. That's
um,
important movement, man. Very
hmm.
important movement.
Man, that's the tell you, like when I see your back as well, it's so detailed. Like literally like every single muscle fiber from the lower lat to the top, like it's detailed. I even posted a picture today as well. He said,
Yeah.
um I'm no one of I am the one.
I'm
That
one
was sick.
you're right about that. And
Yes,
you just got
sir.
that mindset, man, going into shows like that because
Mm,
as we all know, competing, doing bodybuilding, doing protocols and stuff like that, the mind plays tricks on you. You know what I mean? So
mm,
I like to always keep my brain to where I'm level headed and knowing who I am and what I'm about. So that when I post things like that, it's never about anyone. It's never about oh he thinks he's cocky or anything like that. It's
mm.
just I'm just Aaron Banks. Like I'm me. This is what I do, and this is how I post or do what I do on Instagram. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
never targeted towards anybody.
Yeah, I love that. You can definitely tell, like it's just like this, like you're going for it, and it's your mentality, it's your mindset, it's what, and honest with you, that's what keeps your fans, because like people can just tell you have this aura, right? You have this like go get it attitude. So for you to make that post towards the show, it's like we know that yeah, Erin Banks is bringing a package for us this year. It's not like you're shying away and like because people do that as well. But you're always there. You're like, you know what, this is what I'm bringing, and that's what they were talking about on this podcast. I watched it last night as well. This Real Bodybuilding Podcast by what's his name again? The hostile guy.
Who
Fuhad, yes, thank you. But yeah, so he was actually giving you props because when the behind the stage presenter actually brought up your physique, it was like he knows, the bodybuilding guys, they always like don't want to talk about men's physique. But he said right away, he said, yo, like Aaron Banks, like you can see the lower, he even pointed out your lower lats right away. He said, that's bodybuilding. It was like you can tell he has put actual like hours of work in that. And funny enough, that just hit me. I'm like, dude, I literally just saw a video of this guy literally targeting his lower lats. Like, that's crazy. So like they actually even were like pointing that out and being like, wow, like this is gonna be an incredible show in Pittsburgh and all that. So like we're definitely looking forward to see what you're gonna bring to Pittsburgh again this year, and hopefully you're
I'll
gonna take home that
tell
first
you
gold.
right now, it's gonna look way better than that bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It's
No,
gonna
look at
look
that.
way better than that, man. I'm telling you right now.
Exactly. Yes, sir. That's what we want to see, bro. That's what we want to see. So, apart from that, what do you think? This is just to wrap up the presentation before we get into specific questions. What do you think of the Arnold Classic that just happened this past couple of weeks? The the one in the US and in UK as well. What do
I
you
haven't
think of
really
the
watched the UK one, but I knew Vitor
yeah?
won because, of course, he's coached by Cuts. The Arnold US was a phenomenal show. I mean, you had Brandon and Vitor battling it out, and to me personally, it could have went either way. But I'm not mad at the judgment because, of course, you got Brandon, the three-time Mr. Olympia, two-time Arnold Classic champion. I mean, we all have agreed to Brandon's having literally one of the best front shots in men's
Mm,
physique history. So
true.
he's very sharp in the front, So, and Vitor, I mean, he brought a very bubbly look. He was crisp. I think Vitor's back was just a little bit better than Brandon's, but I think the overall decision, it had to come off of how Brandon's front shot looked. It wasn't
Mm.
nothing to do with Brandon's back, but it had to do with Brandon's front shot.
Yeah, that's so true though, because leading up to the show as well, when I saw the lineup, I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be a tough one. But I had Brandon winning, but when the show actually started and I saw the prejudging and the finals, I was like, holy, it's actually anyone's game between both of them. It was actually quite close. Yeah, that's
They both
crazy.
brought it, man. They both brought it.
They
So
brought it, man.
hats
Yeah.
off.
And then that leads me to my next question. We missed you at the show, to be honest with you. Like, what happened? Like, is the plan? The plan was always to do Pittsburgh and then the Olympia.
Yeah, this year the plan was just to do Pittsburgh and then funnel in some other shows that we pretty we won't announce, but we'll just pop
Oh,
up and
okay.
show up.
Oof.
But as far as the Arnold will be back on the list next year, so I will be competing at the next
Nice,
for
nice.
sure.
Said that here, guys. Erin Banks is gonna be at the Arnold's next year. Yes, sir. Let's jump into the actual questions we have for you. I'm just gonna stop the presentation. Alrighty, and then let's jump into your journey. Yeah, starting off with your that first picture we put up from 2019, your first show. I love that you even mentioned that you were natural as well. The reason why I put that up initially was that I actually did my first ever like bodybuilding, like a men's physique actually in like that time frame. And one of the guys I was looking up to, like I told you before then, was Jeremy Buendia and Brandon Hendrickson, right?
Mhm.
Before he came onto the scene. So initially, I wanted to know if they were one of the people you were looking up to, but you said, all those guys were, they all brought something to the table, and
They were all on the
yeah.
scene, but when I came into the league, it was I
Mm,
said this in one of my reels, but it was looking at a Stephen Cow's bag. It was looking at an Ant Woods
mm.
presentation. It was looking at a Raymont because we had the same height. It was looking at a Ryan Terry. Ryan Terry had one of those that front shot everybody loves.
Yeah.
So I mean, out of all of those guys, I think Raymont was kind of one of the one that I really resonated with, just because he was taller. We had very similar structures. He was a real wide dude, and he, of course, he won the Mr. Olympia and did what he did. So
Yeah.
me and him kind of that's who I kind of wanted to.
Yams, right? I remember Yams, right? Yo, he was sick too, to be honest with you. Shit, that physique was
Raymond was
insane.
that guy, man. Raymond was that guy. That's my guy.
Super cool as well. Yeah, I love this energy. Do you still hear
Raymond.
from him?
Yeah, I talk to him
Yeah.
periodically for sure. I got to keep tabs on my guy.
Nice. I love that. And then fast forward to 2021, when I was doing my next show after I told you I did my first men's physique show. Unfortunately, I lost my sister during that year to COVID. Yeah, I know you said during that year you were off as well. I was gonna ask you what happened during that period because to be honest with you, everybody has a story about that period of like, because COVID really hit everyone like just by surprise. So like so I
To
just
be
wanted to know, which you've already spoken a bit about. Yeah.
to be honest, literally in 2019, after I won my pro card in July, I had my son in October of 2019.
Wow.
And then COVID happened. So I was just home with my baby, bro. I wasn't even thinking of, like I said, I wasn't thinking about bodybuilding, bro. I was enjoying enchiladas and pizza and what I wanted to eat. I wasn't worried about bodybuilding. But of course, COVID happened, and I'm like, oh, what are we going to do for work and all this other stuff? So I was personal training, going out when I wasn't supposed to go out because of the restrictions. And then just started bodybuilding again. It was like, let me get ready for a show.
Wow, I love that. So how did you make that progress so quickly, and when did it click for you? You know what? I'm not just competing, I'm gonna be the best in the world, or I can be the best in the world.
And when I was told I can be the best in the world,
Wow.
I, I had multiple people tell me, even from Fresno Classic to Contra Costa to even some
Wow.
big head judges and big coaches at when I won my pro card, it was like, man, you're gonna do very well. You're gonna do very well in this industry. And then, like I said, going off of COVID and then getting and hiring Cuts as a coach, he was like, man, you can do really big things in this industry. And I believe that, and I always believe in myself. So once I locked in and had that mind just locked in on a goal, it was just go, go, go. And
Wow.
that was the progress. It happened every day. I was doing fasted cardio. Every day I was doing the sauna. Every day I was eating those meals. It's the repetition and the consistency of doing that routine every single day. And
Wow.
that's what got me to this point here.
Wow. You heard that, guys? That's how you go from regular dad bod to super dad bod to super dad bod. Because I was looking at that and that just clicked in my head. I'm like, your son must have been one of your motivations, right? For you
Yeah.
to like, wow. I love that, man, to be honest with you. And how do you now balance bodybuilding? Because you're not just bodybuilding, you're literally at the top. Yes, you're at the top of bodybuilding. So how do you balance that with being a husband and a father?
Man, it's very difficult because you got to put your time and energy in so many different places, So again, when it comes to prioritizing certain things, you have to have a routine. You can't just wake up and do whatever you want to do as if I'm a bachelor
Mm,
living by myself, no kids, no nothing. You know what I mean? So that's why I used to wake up at 4 a.m. get my fasted cardio in, and at that same time, my kids would sit there and watch me do the Peloton because they started to wake.
wow.
I woke up. So they're sitting on the iPads playing or watching YouTube, and I'm doing cardio. Next thing I know, I'm eating my first meal, taking a shower, getting them ready for school, taking them to school. Then I go to the gym. So when they're at the gym, it's free game. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now I got between 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock to get my workout in, go back, pick them up from school, take them home, and now we free. We playing games, we doing whatever we want to do, and that's how it worked. And even now, I mean, like my kids are they're very wise, so they understand what dad does, they understand what I'm going through, they understand what I do as an adult. So
Mhm.
they know when dad's prepping, and so they don't necessarily bug me much, but I
Wow.
always be wanting them hugs and kisses. So that's the thing.
Wow. So they should be around six
My
six
son
years
is
old. Your son should be six?
6 and my daughter turns 9 May 9th.
Oh wow. Nice. Wow. Honestly, they're gonna grow up to be like some sports, to be honest with you, in some sport. You're gonna see.
Well, my son is a
Because
very,
wow.
very, very athletic kid. He's in 5 different sports as we speak.
Whoa.
Basketball, baseball, football, soccer, karate. I mean, you name it.
Wow.
He's in
I
everything.
remember the other day we're gonna have the pod. You were like, I should let you know because you're taking your son to a practice.
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah. Wow, that's amazing. They're being exposed to a lot of sports, honestly, and that's how.
He's very active, man. You got to understand, and he definitely got daddy's genetics. And when he came out, he was 10 pounds 3 ounces. So he's gonna be a big stud, man. I'm not the type of father to push my kids to do anything. He'll decide what he wants
Mhm.
when he gets
I
to that
love
age.
that. Wow, you heard that, guys? It's not an excuse. The family is not an excuse. It's actually your motivation, and that goes to me as well, to be honest. Because most
Right.
guys these days they're like, man, kids, and but I'm like, wow, that's actually a huge motivation once that is in your life. If you do it the right way, like you were
What
saying.
happens, bro? I mean, there is no there's no plan B for when you have
Wow,
kids. So that's
yeah.
priority over everything.
And I noticed in the background as well, like even this just goes all together. That's you're in Texas right now, and I'm guessing that's your partner's.
Yeah, this is her logo. So
Yeah, exactly.
she has a little not little. She has a
Yeah,
supplement line that's
beautiful.
very well. So she's killing it in her space, and I mean we bounce off of each other. Of course, she does what she does in her fitness size and
Yeah.
side. And I do what I do in the bodybuilding side. So we coexist and make things happen.
That's lovely. That's inspiring. Every couple will see that and be like, you know what, like that's the kind of, relationship people want to have where it's like very productive.
Right.
You're able to be there for your partner and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like that's really inspiring. And then going back to the fashion we mentioned earlier. So after bodybuilding, is that something you see yourself doing full time or like, bringing out a line or something like that? Because even the name itself already sounds super cool, like Ebanks.
I never stopped doing fashion. You gotta understand, I was a fashion
Hmm.
stylist before I was a bodybuilder. I had clients in LA. Um,
Oh.
I have a really good friend of mine that lives in Miami that's a high profile actor, TV star, rapper, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I've never stopped fashion, and I will never
Wow.
stop fashion because, like you read in that caption, that is
Hmm.
my first love, and I started doing fashion, man, when I was in the sixth grade, and then when I got to middle school, like seventh and eighth grade, where I was drawing my own mock-ups and stuff outside of the gym before practice, and I got buddies who was like, "Bro, you remember you used to sit outside just drawing clothes and pants?" I was like, "Bro, I do." Because that's what I love to do. So they mess with me all the time, and it's just something that gives me therapy as an ADHD person. When it comes to impulse buying and all this other stuff, that it just intrigues me to find certain pieces and want to piece certain things together, look at trends, see how I can use that trend in another trend, or how can I wear it on my body, or what
Hmm.
can I maneuver outside of that. So it's multiple ways to be fashionable. I mean, everybody can be fashionable. It's the confidence that you do bring with wearing what you are comfortable with wearing. You know what I mean? So fashion isn't just because, oh, somebody went and bought a Louis Vuitton shirt, Louis Vuitton pants, and Louis Vuitton shoe. That's the weakest and trashiest that you can even think of. That's not.
Oh man, that's funny as hell.
I got mentors who style Chris Brown. I got mentors who style majority of the industry,
Oh,
and I talk to them all the time. I'm like, man, why do people wear Louis Vuitton everything and think that's fashion?
that's
It's
fashion,
not fashion, bro. It's
man.
a piece, but it is not fashion. So it is what it is. It's a fun industry to be in. It's a very
Hmm.
exciting industry to be in, especially when you're styling people for the award shows, and I did that quite a bit, which those were extremely fun. Just to see all the celebrities and be around that lifestyle was a lot. But even at that time, it was probably one of the worst times of my life because
Oh, wow.
it showed me that dad bod. That was Aaron Banks doing fashion, drinking,
Mm.
and staying up all night from Wednesday to Sunday. So it came
Wow.
with a that was the con. I that
Yeah.
wasn't something that I wanted to kind of emulate, especially with having kids
Yes.
or finding out I was starting to have my daughter.
Yeah.
So that was just a lifestyle change that I had to do, and I kept probably a couple of my clients, and I'm still active with doing it. I just don't
Wow.
post.
So that's like fashion proper then. Wow. Like you're.
Yeah, no, I don't, man. That's one thing I like. I'm a fashion guy, man.
Wow.
I love brands. I love new brands. I love brands that are up and coming. And I just got back into thrifting. I just partnered with Vintage Packs.
I saw that actually. That looks pretty cool. I actually looked into it quickly because I'm like, what is this? Because sometimes you're looking for like some vintage stuff. You have to go to like a bunch of places. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
they basically do it all for you, man. They find these pieces, man,
Wow.
curate it to the max. And I mean, the pieces that I picked up, bro, are absolutely
Was the
fire.
Lakers and something? Was that the one? Was that yours specifically?
Patrick Johnson, old jersey, hardwood classic. Like, bro,
Holy
you
shit.
know how much that jersey is worth right now? And don't let me go get it signed. So it's when you get certain pieces like that, bro. Like even like that Cheerios jacket. Even if I
Hmm.
had like a Earnhardt Jr. sign that jacket, bro, that jacket price goes crazy. So it's certain pieces and certain things when it comes to to buying vintage stuff and getting into it, it has its own rewards. It's kind of like Pokemon cards, bro. You know how people
Mm,
trade and buy Pokemon cards? It's the same thing with
yeah.
vintage clothing. It's the same thing.
Wow. So you're not gonna be wearing any of those. It's just gonna be for like to
Oh no,
like
I'm
how
aware.
does that work? Oh
I'm
yeah,
aware. Yeah, absolutely. Because they're vintage for a reason. They're vintage for a reason.
for a reason. So
If
it's not
it
like the
if it was like a Michael Jordan jersey and it was signed, no, I wouldn't wear that.
no, you wouldn't. Okay.
That's something you don't wear. No, you don't wear that type of thing.
You hang it up. Yeah.
You hang it up, you frame it,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the type of things you want to do with those, bro.
Nice. And then let's turn back into yes, your upcoming Pittsburgh show. I was mentioning how Fuhad and the BTS, the behind the stage guy, we're talking about the physique they saw currently from your update. What version of Erin Banks are we about to see on stage in 5 weeks? Because you've spoken a bit about your mindset, how you're going in there. You're bringing your you got this mentality. You're the one. What are we to expect as fans from Erin Banks this time?
Let me read you something from a check-in that I got this morning.
Oh yeah,
So I won the Mr. Olympia in 2022, right?
yeah,
I won the Arnold Classic in 2022. And I won the Boston Pro in 2022, right?
yeah.
So I got a message. This is the smallest waist. This is the smallest your waist has been. To be honest, your core hasn't looked like this since 2022.
Oh.
So that should explain itself.
Hmm.
That's how I'm coming.
I
That
like that. I like that.
it's just it's getting to a point to where it's getting scary. I'm gonna stop posting
Hmm.
some of these check-ins, and
Holy shit.
they'll see me on that day,
Dang. That's why your back is looking like that from the back as well. Your waist is almost non-existent. It's like,
bro.
and then,
I think my best check-in was this morning, and it was absolutely
whoa.
insane.
God
I
damn. I'm definitely excited for this.
haven't seen my body look like that since 2022, so
2022. Whoa.
makes me happy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm really excited about it. And I'm just excited everybody's whoever entered the show. I'm excited for everybody to kind of compete with and make it a good show. Because again, it is
Yeah.
the president show, and this show should be put on a pedestal. And for the best people to show up, we'll show up and see what the judges think.
Wow, I love that. I'm definitely excited for this one because it's looking like a stacked lineup, and oof, from what you're posting right now, it's just people are gonna be sweating right now. Let's just say that. Let's move into your training intelligence because I was talking about how I was impressed by how just by changing the handle on that grip, by even adding an extra handle to it to you know target that lower lat. Is there any, can you give us a rundown on what your training ideology is like, or is there anyone you watch or you've been watching and, following the training principles, or do you just think about your physique and then you're like, you know what, I need to do this to target, this muscle?
One person or a couple of persons. I mean, of course, Ronnie Coleman. Used to look at some of his older workout videos, but when I first came into the league, and then when I was getting ready for, I think was it the Olympia? I think I was getting ready for the Mr. Olympia, and then I went and trained with Flex Wheeler out in Vegas. He taught me a lot of little tips and tricks, man, about engagement to the muscle and mind connection, and just slowing things down, and really having that negative. And he's been a good mentor to me as well. And
Uh,
then come to find out we're actually related, which is crazy. I don't think anybody knows.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We need to hear this, guys. You heard this here first. What? You're related to Flex Wheeler? Holy moly! How?
So it's crazy because a lot of people, when he was talking to a lot of people in Fresno, and come to find out there was a police officer, and I knew this police officer as well, and he was like, that's my cousin, right? I'm like, no, that's my cousin. Like, so it ended up being. I mean, I don't know what the severity of it is as far as how far along cousins we are, but when we talked about it, it was like, man, we actually related. It's crazy.
Wow. Life. Oh, wow, that's nuts. That's crazy. Wow.
crazy.
That says a lot though. That shows you how come like because you have an amazing physique like naturally already. Like the muscle density, like look at the back shot from 2019 even. It's like what? So like wow, that tracks. That's crazy. And then your athletic background, this brings us to the next section. What sports did you play? I remember I think you played football. And then recently I've been seeing you play pickleball,
Paddle ball,
paddle. Yeah,
pickleball,
paddleball.
pickleball a little bit, but I'm more into paddle, man. Paddle is just more competitive. It's more fast paced.
Mm,
But you know what? Growing up, man, I played football, basketball, I ran track and field, and I was very successful at every single one of them. I got
wow.
championships in every single one of them. You know, it's again, it's everything in my life has been a blessing because everything that I've done or touched has been I've been successful at it. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. But outside of those sports, man, I'm a left
Mm.
hand bowler, which I will bust anybody ass if you.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Whoa, I don't think I've ever met anyone who.
you can scroll down, look at some of those videos, man. I bowl. I used to bowl a lot. I used to be in leagues. I actually used to be in two leagues at one time, which
What? Can you spin? Can you
oh,
like oh wow.
absolutely, absolutely. If you go look at even like my Instagram, I got some PVA guys that I'm close friends with on there. So
Wow.
I'm pretty decent at that. Golf, I suck at.
Wow.
Snowboarding, I love to do
Mm.
it as a hobby. I started snowboarding back when I what was that 2000. Sheesh, that was like 2011. I started snowboarding, um,
Whoa.
and I learned how to snowboard in Montana on some beautiful snow. So
Wow.
that was a
Wait,
good.
were you older when you learned? Because I heard it's really tough to.
I was like 19.
Holy
This,
shit.
this is like my college days. So
Man, that must have been tough.
yeah, I bust my ass a couple times, face planted. Is you get up and learn
That's
from
like
it.
the worst for me. That and skating.
Yeah.
It's like
See,
no way.
that ain't my deal. But right now, man, pickleball, paddleball is my thing. I got a tournament
Wow.
in May, which I think I might have to pass on because of the Pittsburgh Pro.
Yes, please.
So
Yo, wanna see you.
I'm bummed out about it, man. But I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I'll miss one tournament in it. I'll be fine.
Yep.
We'll do the
How
next
does
one.
the tournament work? Was it like you be able to like get into another one, or is that like it's like
So
a championship and one? Yeah.
the championship is in that tournament. You know what I mean? So like there's seven divisions. Of course, the pros are in Division One. I'm nowhere near that yet. So the thing
Mm,
is, I can still win that tournament in my
yeah.
division. You know what I mean? So we're working on getting to Division Four right now.
Mhm.
And even when I hear my coach, because he's a pro as well, he says, "Bro, you can easily go pro in this. You're
Oh
so
wow.
athletic. You're so light on your feet. Your lateral movement is great. All you need to do is just slow the game down even more and just finish
Mm,
the technique. And bro, you can easily do this. So that
wow.
that's what turns me up. That's what gets me into the mindset of, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it. So
I love that.
that is definitely a plan of mine, and to become pro in paddle. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but that will be a goal of mine, especially in the off season when I'm not really focused on bodybuilding. But that's going to
Hmm.
be the outlet for cardio to keep me in shape for
Yeah.
bodybuilding.
I love that. Yeah, that's a lot of like movements, like pace movements, right?
Bro, it's the craziest cardio. Like people
Whoa.
understand about paddle, bro. I can
Yeah.
easily burn 2,000 calories if I
Holy shit.
if
That's
I
insane.
I'm talking about like one game, you're going to burn
One.
600 calories. One game.
Mm,
And we usually play about 3 to 4.
wow.
So you're moving
Like 24. Jeez. Wow.
constant.
So like what then drives you? Because you've reached it. This is actually wild to me because like now you're playing something like that, which is actually quite it's high intensity. It's a high intensity sports then because like just like field hockey and stuff like that because you're moving all the time on your feet. So what inspires you even now that you're at the top of bodybuilding to then, you know, at this level to carry on things like that, was it like growing up, were you always like encouraged to play sports and stuff like that, or what was your upbringing like? Yeah.
The thing is, man, I've been so competitive all my life, even as a kid. I've always wanted to be number one, and if I wasn't number one, I was gonna work my ass off to be number one. And I've consistently showed that from middle school to high school. You know what I mean? To college to now being a professional bodybuilder. I've worked my ass off to be where I am at. You know what I mean? So it's more on the mindset than anything. So I saw paddle as an opportunity to kind of stay in shape, and once I started playing and practicing and then people started seeing me play and then these coaches started seeing me play, it was like, bro, all you need is a
Mm,
couple lessons and you're going to be really good at this. And then
mm,
hearing that in a competitive brain, and especially, I'm going to say this again, ADHD, I'm absolutely crazy on it. You know what I mean? So with that, man, it's just the mindset that just keeps me driven. I don't. I'm a very competitive person. I love to win. I love to do different things. I'm not a one trick pony. I'm not just a bodybuilder, bro. I do
mm.
everything in every aspect of life. Any industry you name it, I'm gonna try to do it.
Wow, I love that. And you're actually being successful in it too. So that's crazy. So was there a time when this confidence wasn't there? Like before bodybuilding and you said you play track and field, you also play football. Was there a time when this confidence wasn't there? And what built this version of Erin Banks we see today?
I'm sorry to say this, and this
Yeah.
may be crazy, but if you were to ask anybody in my family, anybody that grew up with me, this confidence started. It's crazy since I was a baby.
Wow.
It was just embedded in me. And as I was growing up, my father was, he was a hard ass, so he had the same mindset as me. Like, ain't nobody gonna be better than me. And he
Mm,
was what's crazy is my dad built one of the biggest janitorial businesses in California. What my grandmother did and passed it on to my dad. And then my dad took that business and started his own truck driving business. It's his mindset of he wanted to be the best at everything, and the type of money that I saw my dad get was also motivating because he
mm.
let nothing literally not have him take care of his kids. So that was one
Wow.
thing, like in my dad, and that I'll always take is I knew he wouldn't sometimes be at a game because he out grinding. You see what I'm saying? So I
Wow.
knew that. So I wasn't the type of kid. Well, my dad didn't go to my football games or like that. That wasn't me. Like I
Wow.
was
This
a
is
kid that
important what you're saying actually.
understood what the hell my dad was doing to keep that
Yeah.
household correctly. You know what I mean? So when Aaron Banks had 5 practice shoes, 5 game shoes, 10 practice gloves, game gloves, like cleats.
Mm,
I had everything that I needed to be the athlete that I needed to be in every sport that I did is because of him and my mom just working their ass off. You know what I mean? They didn't always have
wow.
to come to every game, but I knew what
Yeah.
they were doing. I knew what they were doing. But it's the same thing that I grew up in that mindset. My dad was competitive. He never wanted to be second. My mom never wanted to
Wow.
be second. Like they've always wanted the best out of us. And my dad always told me, "Ain't nobody better than you." He been telling me that since I was 3 years old.
Whoa. I love that, bro. And now you're doing that with your kids too, because you're making sure they see
One
these things. And
100%.
wow, wow,
One hundred
this is
percent.
inspiring. And people don't talk about this enough because what you said hit me a bit there. Because you said even though they were not at every game, you knew what they were doing. So you're not the kind of kid who was like, well, my parents were not. Because trust me, a lot of people lose their way just because of something as simple as that. Till
Yeah,
today,
and
they
and,
grow up and say,
and these kids nowadays, bro, they're softies. Like I didn't grow up in no soft ass era. My dad would have whooped my
exactly.
ass if I would have said no. Crazy shit. Kids don't get their ass whooped. Like I don't whoop my kids because all I gotta
Yeah.
do is my tones just gotta change. My kids, they already know, and I've never whooped
Yeah.
my kid a day in my life. I probably tapped them on their butt like, bro, stop. I've never whooped my kids to the point to where like our parents did, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. Trust me, I grew up in that too, so
nowadays these kids do whatever they want. They talk back to their parents. They tell their parents what they
hmm.
want to do and what they not gonna do. I just wasn't raised like that. I don't play with kids. I don't. I don't do disrespect. If I tell you to do something,
Yeah.
you gotta do that shit right now. Like I'm not gonna beg you to do nothing. If an adult tells you to do
That.
something, you're gonna do it. Because I tell you right now, if my parents did that shit
Hmm.
and said anything, and I said, "Huh? What? No, boy, look here, man.
Lights out.
I don't even know, boy. I said it a couple of times, and boy, I tell you, I ain't gonna say child abuse, but I got a mark still right around here. You know what I'm talking about?
Holy,
So
holy shit.
back in the day, man, that was a different time, man. And not like I said, nowadays kids are different. So you got to learn
Yeah.
to parent and adapt to getting kids on the same wavelength as the parent. So again, for
Hmm.
me, it's just a tone. My kids snap. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna sit here and play with y'all. No.
Yeah, because they respect you, right? They see who you are and like you already inspire them. Like deep down, I know what you mean. It's almost like they don't want to disappoint you. Like, you know what I mean? When your dad like gives you all these things and like, is there for you and like you already like feel this inspiration from him. Just you getting upset with them doing something, it's like, oh no, like I've upset dad. Like, oh man, I've disappointed my dad. That's like a very like it's a bad feeling for kids these days, especially the ones who were brought up right. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Which brings us to the next topic because we kind of brushed on this earlier when you even said it yourself, and I love that you were like, no. When I was like, is that important for partners to understand bodybuilding for someone to succeed at this level? So for you, how important is that support system?
I mean, it's super important. And to be honest, everybody got their own different lives, and everybody got different jobs and careers and stuff like that. But I mean, my woman is very involved in fitness. Like I said, she has her own supplement line. She does
Hmm.
boot camp classes, like really big boot camp classes. She's a
Wow.
radio personality. She's a TV personality. So
Wow.
she understands, especially because she has competed before. So it's just small things. And like, Erin may have a bad day.
Hmm.
Aaron may be super tired, but it's just how we all respond to each other on a bad day or a low day, or you know what I mean. So
Hmm.
the support is huge. The support is huge. You can't just be selfish at sometimes to, especially when somebody's deep into a prep. Let's say for if I was 2 weeks out and I'm super tired and I'm trying to vent or I'm trying to do something and they're not being supportive in the way of listening
Hmm.
or what can I do for you? That type of support is that won't work.
Yeah.
You got to understand what you're getting into with bodybuilding and understanding prepping, because prepping with low food, you got protocols that are in place, you got cardio sessions that get wicked. So
Hmm.
the mind and the brain, like I said, it plays tricks on you, but you have to understand both sides.
Hmm.
And even the person who's prepping, you got to also understand your partner who's not prepping. You know what I mean? So, and
Hmm.
you have to dig even deeper because again, it can be very selfish on me if I didn't care about my partner, what she was going through, and I'm in prep.
Hmm.
So you got to mentally dig deeper to kind of
Yeah.
still be there. You know what I mean? So it goes both ways. It goes both ways for sure.
Oh, I love that. That's a good one because I've heard a lot of cases where like it just doesn't work out because the partner doesn't really like you said, you even used the exact word selfish. Like it gets to a point where it feels selfish. If one person is doing it, the other person doesn't really understand, and not just the other person doesn't understand, the person who is in the prep himself doesn't really take into account the partner's feelings or whatever they're going through at that point as well. So I love that you really touched on it's all about the relationship both ways,
Yep.
making sure that you keep account of both you and your partner's mindset. I love that. And then you also said protocols, because when you're on prep there are different protocols and things like that. That brings up the PED talk. What would you tell the younger generation? Because right now, the only thing, because I hear this a lot, and I'm like, I actually don't see that. But on TikTok, they're like these days people see dosages, yes, on TikTok and things like that. So, and then you see kids that are 16, 15, not even up to 18, not even up to 20, and then the first thing they want to do when they ask you about a program, they're like, "Oh, what are you using?" And I'm like, "What? How old are you? Like, what, like shouldn't you be thinking about the training, the nutrition, and all this stuff? But these days, it's about they just ask you, oh, what are you using and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, so what is your advice for the younger generation these days, especially because you have, your son is 6 years old as well. Before you know it, he's also going to be exposed to some of these things. So what would you advise the younger generation?
And my advice: do everything natural until your body is at that limit. I didn't start
Hmm.
taking gear until I was 30 years old.
Whoa.
Like I said, I went pro naturally. I was 29. Then when I was 30, I went to the other side, but I
Mhm.
pushed my body to that limit. But knowing that if I wanted to be number one in the world, there was no other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I just went to the extreme, and I made it happen. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
these kids nowadays need to understand that they're just cutting their lives short, and they don't understand the severity of the consequences that are going to come with starting stuff at that age, and they're listening to Smojo
Mhm.
that aren't really giving the best advice. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So I mean, the internet ruins a lot of things for a lot of
Mm.
people in certain different ways, and that's one of the ways that kids are going to be steered off the right path is the internet and TikTok and what they see on it. Like, it's just not healthy. And for
Yeah.
a 16-year-old to want to take gear, if I was his father, I would slap the shit out of him.
Well, I love that. I love
Like,
that. Straight up.
I wish my son would say, like, I would probably punch my son in his chest.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's for
Are you
real, man.
are you crazy? Six, 16, 16. And then I
Hmm.
see kids taking SARMs and all this other stuff at that age too, which is it's
Yeah.
it's absolutely crazy.
And it's almost celebrated. It's weird. Like in the industry, some people are like, "Oh, this freak 18 years older." But like if you're saying that though, you do realize that, which means he's been using gear like and it's celebrated and all that. And I'm just like that's where the industry is kind of going. Like that's the part of the industry that's seen as the dark side because like if not, it's like you said, using it at 30 is almost as if literally you need it at that point, even as just an
But
athlete.
even to stop you there, even to
Hmm.
stop you there, what are most companies going towards right now? These young ass kids.
Yep. Hmm. Wow. Hmm.
So it
That's
makes you think.
crazy.
It makes you think. Makes you think.
Hmm. That's wild, man. So, what do you think this is stemming from? Is because they know that that's the most marketable, like they're the most
Oh, it's the most
impressionable.
thing because you got to
Yeah.
understand that the internet is way more advanced than when we were around, and you got to
Hmm.
understand these kids are just doing dumbass shit and got dumbass opinions and say whatever they want to do with the keyboard stuff without no
Hmm.
repercussions. So it's going to get clickbait. That's all it's about.
Hmm.
How many views can I get off of doing this dumb shit?
Hmm.
That's all it's about.
Wow. That's crazy, man. So, what mistakes, apart from that, what mistakes are you then? Because you just mentioned it again now. It's just people doing dumb shit just to like get the clicks and everything, which is one of the mistakes. And you already said like the age thing, it's like it's a no-no if you're not like at that age. Oh, do you think it's also it has to do with like the number of years you've been training as well? Because I know like for you, like seeing your development at in 2019 already, you looked like a freak. To be honest, your back development was already up
But
there.
you
You know what I mean?
understand, I only got out of shape for 1 year of my whole entire life.
Well,
I played sports since I was 6 years old. So I was always in shape. Again, that 1 year of that dad bod
mm,
was the result of the negative part of one, like my life, I would say.
yeah.
And then getting back in shape was just, it was easy for me, because it was something that I never wanted to do. I never wanted to get out of shape, but that shit just happened so fast when you're eating and partying and doing dumb shit. So
Wow. Which is
the
why
body,
you understand the negative. right now, and you can actually speak on it because you've seen how you can lose yourself in 1 year,
easily.
literally. So wow.
So I've been there, done that. I am an older guy. I'm 37 years old. I'll be 38 this year. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I've seen a lot. Maybe not in the industry, but I've seen a lot in every industry that you can think of. And I've been through a lot of shit in my life that most people would never want to even see. So I know I got street sense. I got common sense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
a lot of these kids nowadays wouldn't even know what to do if somebody were to pull on the side of them and pull a gun out on them. They're
Hmm.
gonna piss or shit their pants. But then turn
For
around
real.
on Instagram and be like, "Oh, I almost whooped this guy's ass," just to get
That's hilarious, yo.
clicks.
Clicks.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So what would you say has been your biggest lesson now? Because you just mentioned, I love that you mentioned that you've seen a lot, like not even just in bodybuilding, but like in life in general. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from bodybuilding? And what would you tell yourself 10 years ago? Like if you had to talk to Erin Banks 10 years ago, what would you tell yourself?
The biggest lesson. I think I always say it, but it's not even a lesson to me. But it's just always be true to yourself and never like switch up who you are. And it was
Mm,
I can take my own lesson because I kind of switched up a little bit after having a little mishap on Instagram, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really give a fuck what people think about me. Erin
mm,
is always going to be Erin. I'm not going to change myself because somebody may think of me some certain way. I've gotten to this position because I was Erin Banks and being authentic. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
it's always about being true to yourself, man. That's the lesson because there's going to be there's going to be people who try to change who you are, and you're gonna try to kiss ass to people.
Mm,
You're gonna that don't work. I mean, it may work to a certain extent,
mm.
but it's not gonna work in your benefit.
For you.
It's always gonna work in their benefit, not yours. You see what I'm saying? Always be true to yourself, man, and just be who you are. Be humble. A lot of people would say, Aaron. I mean, I'm gonna stop talking in third person. A lot of a lot of people say I wasn't. I mean, I was arrogant, cocky, and stuff like that. But that's never been the case for me. I've always been 100% authentic and 100% confident
Confident.
in myself.
Yeah.
You know, I've never talked about nobody just because I said, "Oh, I'm gonna win this show." That didn't call me. That doesn't mean I'm arrogant. But now, all
Should
of
you say, I'm gonna lose this show or I'm gonna try my best? The fuck
but
no.
but nowadays, when people say they're gonna win the show, now it's a
Hmm.
totally different narrative. Oh, that's okay
Yeah.
for him to say that. He's confident in himself. But when I was saying it, it was negative.
Hmm.
I catch the drift. I catch the drift.
Hmm.
Maybe the skin color or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Catch the drift.
Wow, that's crazy. That's actually crazy, man. And then that being said, though, moving forward, what would you want your name to represent in the sport? Because you're leaving a legacy. If you look at your rap sheet already, the amount of shows you've done, the amount of top four places you've gotten. I'll even say top three, to be honest with you, all three, because it was only last year that was the outlier. In the Olympia alone, actually, and that lineup was when I looked at the lineup again, I'm like, holy shit, even the person that was number 10, I was like, oh, like it's actually crazy. So what would you want your name to represent in the sport, like in the future? What legacy do you want to leave behind?
Mm, to be honest, I just want to just leave that how like positive I was, regardless of the outsider people on the internet thinking I
Hmm.
was a certain way. A lot of people that I surround myself with or who I involve myself with, go to shows with, judges, promoters, people at shows, fans at shows, everybody that I interact with, they know the real Aaron. They don't
Hmm.
look at me as the Instagram Aaron. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I just always been a positive person. I've shaken many hands with multiple fans. You know, so as far as me leaving like the legacy is just gonna be Aaron Banks was just a nice dude. in reality.
I love that. And I can speak to that because honestly, even last year meeting you, like you brought like a very good energy. So my partner was speaking on it after because we met a lot of people that day, right? And some people didn't rub off so well, to be honest with you. Like even just the way they were like very like pushy and like when you try to talk and they're like, but like you were like so like inviting and like you brought a very good energy. People were like really wanting to even talk with you after that because you
Yeah,
were like you were, you know, very down to earth and everything. So I can see that already and you're already starting to leave that. To be honest with you, anyone that is talking like what you were saying before, saying, oh, like cocky or whatnot, guess what? They're trolls. Like literally they're trolls on the internet. They're never people who meet you face to face. Ever. People who meet you face to face will always have something good to say because
right.
that's it. That's literally the real. But people on the internet, they just want to, like you said, get a reaction, get something. Yeah,
It is what
yeah,
it is.
exactly. And that being said, moving on to what's coming up, the Pittsburgh Pro and also the Olympia. We'll track back to your first Olympia win first off. What would you tell yourself, like before that first Olympia win, what were you telling yourself? Like, because you said people around you already telling you that you can be one of the best in the world, but what were you telling yourself before that first Olympia win?
I told myself I was going to win it after I placed second. Literally. I told Cuts backstage, getting off the stage, showing him the second place trophy. And I literally told him and looked at him, I said, I'm not losing next year.
Whoa,
And he'll tell you that.
wow. I love that. And that's a statement right there. And you literally came back with fire and took it. No one was expecting it to, but you were. So like, wow,
Yeah, it
that's
was
incredible.
just the mindset, man, that I grew up
Yeah.
with, and yeah, we're gonna get second. Yeah, we're not gonna get first all the time. But it's always how you respond and what you do to get to that next result.
Hmm. I love that. That being said, we're moving on towards the end of the show here. We just want to give you big thanks for hopping on the show again. Are we gonna see you in Canada anytime soon? Anytime in the near future?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
I got some plans that's gonna bring me back to Canada this year.
Yeah.
Be ready.
Awesome.
And I think
All right.
hopefully after the Pittsburgh, within a couple months we'll probably go to Canada.
Oh, really? Wow. All right, you heard that here. Aaron Banks is going to be in Canada this year. So whenever you make that announcement, we'll definitely start making plans as well. And then for the Olympia, hopefully as well, we're trying to be there this year, finger crossed. And then we can see you on that stage, do your thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to make it happen, man. Make it happen.
Yes, sir. And honestly, we're giving you all the best, like, you know, energy, good energy towards this Pittsburgh Pro show because I want to see you bring the absolute best, like, because you're working really hard towards it. You're bringing like a package that, like you said, your waist has never been this small. And we just want to give you all the good props, wishing you all the best because I know anything can happen in a prep, but I believe that you're going to see this one through and you're going to come out on top. Because honestly, I've been looking at the lineup and I'm like, oof, if you win this show, it's a big statement. And honestly, that's what we want to see.
It's a
And
huge.
I'm super inspired by your journey. And that's why I'm saying this. Sure.
Here you go. Stay inspired, man, and I appreciate
Yes, sir. I appreciate you as well. Thanks for hopping on this show and enjoy your time in Texas. Are you there just for like a bit, like during this next 5 weeks, or are you in Texas till Pittsburgh?
I moved to Texas,
Oh, you live in Texas now. Where were you living before?
California,
California. Oh yeah, makes sense. Was that recent? Like just now?
last Sunday.
That's what? Whoa. Is that a big switch for you?
Not really. I just got to fly back every 2 weeks to see the babies.
Oh,
That's about
oh
it.
wow.
But it's part of adapting.
Hmm. Like you said, super dad, right?
You gotta be, man. Number one.
Yes, sir. Wow. Well, Erin, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Like I said, thanks for hopping on this show, and definitely we're gonna be watching you grace that Pittsburgh Pro show in 5 weeks, I believe. That's May 23rd. Gotta put that on my calendar. I don't want to miss that. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna be watching you win that. Let's say that. All right, Erin. Have a good one, and yeah. Like they say, it's always bigger in Texas. Is that what the saying is? I don't know.
Everything is bigger in Texas. That's what.
Everything is bigger in Texas.
Yep.
Oh, baby. Bring it on.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. Have a blessed one.
Have a good one.
You too.
What are you waiting for? Subscribe, watch the videos, leave us a like, and don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know what you'd like to see. Let's go, Queens and Kings, to the world.